Hello, everyone. It has been about a month since we have given you an update on Revit plugin version 3. Now that we have released Model Editor version 2, it's a good time to just get back to Revit plugin and update everyone on it. If you have watched the previous video, great. If you have not, this is also fine. So this is what have changed, right? Like instead of having all those buttons, there's a single one, opens up the UI. There is a Revit connector here. So what it does, it basically connects Revit to the model editor, right? Um, the workflow is now more similar to how you would build a model. You usually start with rooms, right? And then add windows and add roofs to that. So you go with rooms, it loads all the levels that you have. There are similarities with the older workflow that, for example, for every level now, you have to go and make sure you set the height. We made the UI a bit better, so it just gives you, a nudge if it's not set. So it just says, hey, like you have to set that. Of course, you can type it here if you want to do the math, or you can just use this. The units are not there yet, but then you can do you know, the standard thing of opening it inside Revit, make sure all the rooms are placed. If it's not, you can place the room, right? I'm just going to place a room here, right? Um, then I can also do the same thing for second floor, and I'm going to do the same thing with third floor, so I just add the rooms all together. So again, if you've used pollination, like for example, this room is not necessarily something that you should, but you can. It makes things easier, but you don't have to. But this one is something that you don't want to miss. I mean, in this case, actually, is interesting. You can miss this right now and then add it and later on. But yeah, for this video, I'll just put it in. Now I refresh and load um, the rooms from selected levels so you can see the numbers changed. Of course, yeah, you can use areas or spaces. They're all the same in Pollination World. They translate to Pollination Rooms. There's a step here for filtering rooms if you want to select part of it, or, like let me click on it so you can just see it, that you can just go room by room and, um, do the do the selection one by one. Um, it takes a little bit of time for loading all the rooms, but for this case, in most of cases, right, you just want to load everything. This is great for when you want just to load part of the model. And now you can add all of them. So unlike what I've been preaching for version 1 here, it will be okay to add all of them, all the 3 floors together. Again, like we have all those settings here, arc subdivision, for curve, minimum hole area if you want to remove them. And then you can add all the rooms. And it's pretty fast, right? Because it's just, there's no window, windows are not there, doors are not there yet. So it's just the rooms. And now you can start doing the standard model editor thing. So I'm going to use auto align, just align all the rooms quickly. Then I'm going to fill the holes, right? And then put like a larger number here and then call this elevator shaft. Good, that I have it already. And then enter and I get all the elevator shafts, right? And let's just join coplanar faces to do a quick cleanup and then do a quick preview to see what we have. So now you can see that this is loaded. And one of the beauties of this workflow is that you can get the massing right, right? For example, this room should be double height. I don't have to go to reload all those stuff that we have to do in V1. I can simply select the room here, change the attribute, right? Like make it double, 25 for now, and then that's all I need for all the double height rooms. For all the geometry stuff for the rooms, I don't have to go back to Revit. Of course, it can be linked. I can get some information from it, but I don't have to. So that's it. I have the rooms there. If I want to be, like a standard workflow that we have, let's go, yeah, I don't know, IESVE. So you can run validation, everything is valid so far. So now that we're good with rooms, then you can go for windows. So for windows, again, like you see a lot of similarities in like how we approach it. The difference here is now we have like a single UI that basically shows the family type in Revit. We don't have it here yet, but the idea is you switch between single panel, multi-panel, bounding box, and you quickly get a preview to make sure it looks right. You have this select in Revit option, so you can click and select all the windows in Revit preview, right? For this one, we know like curtain wall system panel is something that you want to select. You can click and select it, right? You can we already know, right? Like you can also select this one, and then you can for this one is fine. Single, like the materials are now here, is easier to see and filter. Phases are here, easier to see and filter. But one thing that we have added, so many people ask for this, I want to remove interior windows. And yes, you can do it in model editor, but it would be much nicer if you could just do it inside Revit. So one of the things is now you can just first you do the first round in selecting them here, and then you can open them in Revit. So it basically creates a view that has all these windows. It's a bit buggy right now. It actually includes all the other ones too, so it's not really my selection. It does the solid one there too. But again, like focus on the workflow. We get that. That's not hard to fix. The workflow is the important thing right now, and something that we would appreciate if you guys provide feedback. So the key here is that I can now, right, uh, select all of this and hide them, all the interior ones, right? So I can hide the interior windows. Um, so hide this, and then that means I can basically get the windows exactly what I want. And again, this is not a required step. You can do the thing the older way, but this is a nice addition that now, like if you check this 1382 and I refresh data from active view, you see it came down to 1189. And of course, this selected this one, even though I didn't want it. This one we will fix, but just focus on this one. So you can now you have the option of removing all those. And then you can do a preview before adding it to the model, right? So you make sure the window is looking the way that you want them to look. And didn't I remove this? I think I did, or maybe I didn't. No, I did not. Um, I'm not going to go back and do that, but that's basically showing you like the value of this workflow, right? I tried to remove all the interior windows, then you do another double check, make sure you did it right. Okay, I didn't do it right. I can go back and hide them if I want, but then once I have them right and I'm happy, you can start adding them to your room. So you can just add them. There are a bunch of properties here. You can say what's the projection distance, right? For these windows to be projected on the rooms and what is the angle tolerance. So we make it a little bit more, you know, um, what's a good term for it? So it's not like you don't have to be precise anymore necessarily a lot, right? You need to just be close and then we resolve the rest. Like, okay, we know the windows, we know where the rooms are. If the approximity like is acceptable, then it will be added. So that makes things much easier. Even like if the Revit model, like the window is a little bit off, or the angle is not right. We have seen models that coordination has been off, and the curtain wall is like half a meter there off the wall. So all of this you can address here without really need to go and fix the Revit model and get what it is supposed to be as an energy model. And then you have the option to only apply to selection and have a look here. So I have all the rooms. They have 0 windows and 0 doors. And then I can add the windows. And yep, all of them are here. So preview to make sure things look good. But that's basically the step for adding windows, right? Now you have everything here. Um, this is the good thing about this now, like we can start adding like things like frame thickness for all the people who are concerned about, the frame thickness not being here for curtain panels, right? All of that can be done here, can be visualized even before being added, ideally, to the model. So all of that is kind of automated, so you don't have to set up and select windows. Now you have that. You can imagine doors will be very similar. Roofs also similar, but now like you can start adding them more carefully, right? You just select the roof and add it instead of like adding all the roofs every time, which is what we do right now in a way. And finally, you have shades, so you can add them all together. And again, there is no like save to file, open it in my ledger. You are already here, which basically means, right, I can do another validation run, and then I can now export it to any of this, let's say gem, and you can check all this to make sure you're doing it right. And here you go. Um, the model is already out there. Let's call it from Revit connector, as we call it right now. Okay, now I just pause to open IESVE, and I can go, open this file that I just sent there. So the whole thing is here. I know the roof is not there, skylights are not there yet, and actually we have the the solid curtain wall panels also going in, but those are not really like hard ones. Those are easy to fix. What you should focus on is like the overall workflow that now is much smoother and easier. With that, what we really hope to get from recording these videos is feedback and let us know what you think. If there is anything that you think here needs to be added, let us know about those. This is a good time to do that. And I'll try to do more frequent updates as we develop, more of this version 3. And right now it's not available for testing, but as we always do, we try as soon as we can, we try to make a beta version so we can share it with you guys to test it and give us feedback, because really like the real feedback comes when you get to use it for your real projects. Thank you so much for watching, and we're looking forward to get this thing out so more people can use it. Thanks.